What's up, fight fans? And I'm back at it with another one here at Round One Sports Talk. As you can see, we are the undisputed YouTube channel there is right now for your boxing content and boxing news. We have all the belts around here. You know what I mean? Getting everything together little by little. So let's talk boxing. Uh what can I say about the Ryan Garcia Tank Davis fight that just occurred? What I can say is that I was 100% correct. If you go back and you watch my video and when you hear me talk about Ryan Garcia and Tate Davis, although highly talented, Ryan Garcia possesses great speed and power. That amateur boxing little style that he has was not gonna be a highly decorated champion such as the likes of Javante Tank Davis. Um, what I saw in that fight was a lot of nervous energy. A lot of people that were watching the fight with me, they were saying, "Oh, he got him against the rope and everything." And I'm looking at them and I'm saying to myself, "That's that's not boxing, and that's not how he's supposed to be boxing this man." Had I been um, Ryan Garcia as his coach, which he had a world class coach, I just don't think that he utilized him. I think that um, Ryan Garcia, although he has a real good boxing IQ, and he has a good eye for the sport. When you don't start to you don't allow yourself to keep learning and growing in your craft, you have stopped growing as a fighter. You know, um, if he was well coached in that fight, should have never been this close to Tank Davis at no point in that fight. Like case in point, say I was training Ryan Garcia, right? And in sparring, I was watching him. I'm sitting there, I'm watching him spar. If at any point in that sparring they got this close to each other, I would fly into that ring. And I'd be like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" I don't care if you have a moment's success on the inside. That's not the game plan that I've had drawn out for you. You're supposed to be on the outside, maximizing your range, keeping him at bay at a distance, and utilizing your footwork and your speed on the outside. I don't want you on the inside at any point in this fight. And that's where the dedication and the training and the preparation and the going over your game plan comes into play, where you can stay disciplined and push him off of you and keep him at the distance that you guys have worked at on your training camp. But he didn't have a training camp. He didn't have a plan, is what I'm trying to say. Ryan Garcia. He just went after Tank Davis. And he thought that just by going after him with pressure, that he would be able to catch him. A real boxer is going to be able to maneuver around that. A real boxer is going to time you when you come in with those wild punches. And what exactly happened is exactly what I thought was going to happen in that fight. And I said it, and I was right. I told you, don't put your money on that kid. Unless he changes this around and he's willing to be taught and he takes on a good coach and he really dedicates himself into the sport, I don't see him going very far in the sport, unfortunately. Let's see where this goes and where it unfolds, okay? So, as another big fight that we have coming up, some of the bigger fights, some fights I don't care too much about, even though, case in point, Canelo Alvarez has a fight coming up. Does anybody know who he's going to fight? I mean, I actually know the guy's name, but have you ever watched him fight, is what I'm trying to say. He's fighting these cherry picks again. And Canelo Alvarez, you know, I can be critical to him and his selection of opponents that he's been picking. I mean, he just fought Triple G and he never rematched Dimitri Bivol over that loss. And he's never rematched any of the fighters he's ever lost to, okay, in his career. So, now, if he could have fought what I'm trying to say is there's a lot bigger fights out there for that man. And at this point in your career, he acts like he's protecting an O. Like if he's undefeated. Like if he's avoiding the fight the Charlo twins, David Benavidez, boom boom, like he's avoiding to fight he's acting like he's protecting his O. He's already been defeated n- more than once. So, like, taking a risk, daring to be great at this point in your career, at this age, for that kind of payday is well worth it. You know what I'm saying? He's on his way out. You know, he, he why doesn't he fight Demetrius Andre? You know what I'm saying? Like, out of all those fighters, I would have fought Demetrius Andre first because I think that he has a better chance with him, even though I think Demetrius Andre is going to beat him. Will beat Canelo Alvarez. I probably would have went Demetrius Andre's way because, and then who else is there? The Charlo twins and David Benavidez. Pick your poison. You know, you can't say. He could. Canelo Alvarez is the kind of fighter that will lull you in, and he has good power. And although he looks a little slow, he is fast. He's boxer fast. He's not fast where it's speed wise, but from here to there, the distance. You know what I'm saying? With good timing, he's that kind of fast. There's a different kind of speed in boxing. So, um, you know, I'm not really gonna. I don't. I might watch it, but like if it's a pay-per-view fight, nah, I'll just watch to see the highlights of the Canelo Alvarez fight. It doesn't really interest me. A fight that does interest me right now is a fight like Devin Haney and Visek High-Tech Lomachenko. Now there's a fight that's coming up May 20th. Devin Haney is the American 135-pound champion of the world, unified, undisputed champion of the world, okay? Meaning he has all four belts. He has the WBC, the WBA, the IBF, and the WBO, okay? Now, if you don't know the storyline and the backstory to this fight, let me quickly break it down for you. Once upon a time, Lomachenko was the WBC 135-pound champion of the world. His mandatory was Devin Haney. Devin Haney petitioned to fight Lomachenko. Lomachenko didn't want that fight. Lomachenko vacated the WBC title, in which the WBC organization franchised him as a WBC champion, but he was no longer the WBC super champion of the world. Remember when they was calling Devin Haney the email champion? The reason why they called him the email champion is because Lomachenko vacated the belt and they emailed him a letter telling him, you are now the WBC super 135-pound champion of the world. So he was notified by an email that he was the champion. He never fought no one and won the belt, right? So they criticized Devin Haney for that. But what was to be criticized? He was doing exactly what he was supposed to do. He was challenging the champion. It's not his fault he vacated the belt and didn't want to fight him. And they had to email him the belt, right? So Devin Haney kind of punked Lomachenko for his belt. Call it what you want. Did he duck him? Did he fight him? No, he didn't fight him. So, okay. So lo and behold, time goes on. And Devin Haney becomes the 135-pound champion of the world and undisputed. And he got all the four belts. So now Lomachenko wants a shot at the title. And Devin Haney's saying, you didn't give me an opportunity back then. You had a chance to fight a younger, less experienced version of Devin Haney, and Lomachenko didn't fight him. But now Lomachenko's going to fight a little bit more experienced and a little bit more mature boxer now. Why? Because he has all four belts, Devin Haney. And the only way Lomachenko's going to ever achieve his dream of having all four belts is to beat him. And lo and behold, he can do it in one shot. If he beats Devin Haney, he becomes the undisputed, unified four belt era, a holder in a four belt era. Okay? So, what other way, instead of fighting four individuals, just fight one guy and win all four belts? Man, you're never going to get a perfect opportunity. So, this is Lomachenko's opportunity. So, Lomachenko fought Jamie Ortiz. Jamie Ortiz is a city guy. We're from the same city. Okay. Now I've never, sat down with Jamie Ortiz and asked him about this or anything, but I do know that he sparred against Lomachenko. Some of the people that were in those rooms while Lomachenko and Jamie Ortiz were sparring, I've asked them a few questions, and we still stayed in contact. Now, what they're telling me and what I've being told is that Lomachenko looks really good. And Lomachenko is going to show up to this fight. Okay? Now, I know that they're not going to talk, bad about the guy or whatever. But we had a real interesting conversation, me and the gentleman. And, I don't take everybody's word for what everybody says, and I just don't hear one story and just throw it out there. No, no, no. I want to know about it. So what I'm being told is that yes, Lomachenko is going to show up to this fight. Now, I don't have anybody on Devin Haney's side where that I can call someone or see if anybody, because I don't know anybody on his side yet. But in the future, I will. And I would like to, talk to Devin Haney in the future. But as for right now, I can tell you one thing about this kid. He is going to show up for this fight. You better believe it. There is nothing that leads me to believe that Devin Haney is not going to come well prepared, well trained, and as a professional for this fight. If every other fight he's been in, he's coming in shape, he looks better, and he's always made weight professional. Okay? But the one thing I have to keep in mind is he is still only 24 years old. He's still a 24-year-old kid. And at some point in that fight, if Lomachenko can fight Devin Haney's ego rather than box him, he might have a chance. Now, obviously, Lomachenko knows that he doesn't fare very good against this style of opponent. So his training and his coaches better utilize and come up with a game plan that he can more, move around these kind of fighters. You know what I'm saying? Because he had a tough outing against Jamie Ortiz and he lost against Teofimo Lopez. And if you're going to ask me, Devin Haney is the better version of both those fighters for now. Okay, Jamie Ortiz stands to grow and get better every day. So, and Teofimo Lopez too, but he doesn't seem to be going that trajectory. He seems to have stopped learning as well. And he's just comfortable with who he is as a fighter. And every time I've seen him since the times he won those belts, he's just been the same fighter. Am I right or am I wrong? You know what I'm saying? I haven't seen anything different. Well, we'll see what he's going to do against Josh Taylor. And I think Josh Taylor is going to teach Teofimo Lopez a boxing lesson. That's what I see happening there. Like I said, I'm not biased here at Round One Sports Talk. We're not biased here. We don't pick sides. We analyze and report boxing. And I give you what I know and what I really see with my eye, my boxing experience, my boxing mind, my boxing IQ. I give it to you here when I see something and I know what I'm looking at. I'm letting you know what I'm looking at. And when I see Naoya Inoue fight, he is a truly a special individual. Right now he is one of a kind. I reported that his brother, his kid brother, just recently won one of his vacated titles, right? And as being the little brother to such an accomplished fighter, man, everybody has to really criticize his little brother, and they did. A lot of people do. And on my channel, there are a lot of, oh, he's not Naoya anyway. He'll never be his brother. Wow, that's kind of big, when you're trying to be your own man and your own fighter and you're setting your own legacy. This guy's your brother. You know what I'm saying? That's tough. But I do have to admit that Naoya Inoue's little brother can box. He looks fundamentally sound. He looks better than a lot of those guys in the division. Although I know he doesn't possess his power. You know what I'm saying? He's a little bit tab slower than Naoya, and I think his gas tank is a little bit down. But where they really separate at is their punch selection and their ring IQ. Why they throw punches. See, the little brother, when I watch him fight, he throws punches because there's no action. So he's just throwing a punch to throw a punch. Rather than the big brother, Naoya Inoue, he's throwing up punches to set up other punches, to follow punches, to land the big punch. He's like 3 or 4 steps ahead of his opponent that's standing in front of him most of the time. I've noticed that about Naoya Inoue. So that fight itself, it looks like it's on its way. It's scheduled. We're gonna get that fight in July. There was a little hiccup on Naoya Inoue's part. They had to postpone the fight, come back on a later date, in which they did. And I talked about that as well. I kind of feel like that might have been a coaching like decision where that they can focus on his little brother and not have two big fights, almost within the same time period. It was going to be like a month apart. You know what I'm saying? So I think that was more strategic. You know what I'm saying? So, well, let's see. Let's see what happens, But if you have any boxing questions and you want me to talk about any fighters, I'm back. I'm back here. I had some family issues I had to address with. I recently had a loved one pass away, so I took some time off. But as you can see, I'm starting to get things back to going. And I always love to hear your comments and your feedback. Please like, subscribe, share the videos, and we can always talk boxing. Um, I'm going to be going live in a few days, and I just hope you guys tune in for that live feed, and we can talk a little bit more about your favorite fighters and what you think. Look, I have a lot to talk about, but Errol Spence Jr. and Terrence Crawford at this point, it's just becoming like I don't feel like it's gonna happen. Everyone starts to have an opinion on it. Is he aging them out? Look, Errol Spence Jr., he's one of my favorite fighters. But right now it's tough to defend him and to fight and argue with people and say why he should be on the pound for pound list and why now like I can't even say anything like because I don't even feel like he should be on it anymore. Because for God's sake, he fought 3 times in 4 years. 3 times in 4 years. This is gonna be almost 2 years since his last fight. His last fight was Ugas. It's like hard to like defend the man right now when everyone else around him is active and fighting. Terrence Crawford even got a fight in. And he was waiting for the man. And goes to show you that it's not Terrence Crawford that doesn't want to fight because he went off and fought someone else. Errol Spence Jr. has still yet to fight anyone. Anyone. So that it's weighing heavy on my mind. He's one of my favorite fighters, but I can't be biased and protect him. I have to report what's really going on. And Errol Spence Jr. is holding up the division. And right now, he, in my mind, unfortunately, I don't think this fight's gonna happen. I just don't. I just don't. So let me know what you think. I have to go dig into some videos and stuff and call some people and really try to get some insight on Naoya Naoya Inoue and Stephen Kubo Fulton. Yo, they have been like locked in. Like Stephen Kubo Fulton went underground or something. I can't even find out where he's training at. Like I'm getting all kinds of like, no, he was here, he was there, he was there. Man, like they are like really keeping this hush hush. Like seriously, I can't find anything out. And Naoya Inoue being in Japan doesn't help. I can't even get someone on the phone. You know what I mean? That I understand. So like it's kind of tough to get information on this one, but whatever I get, I will report back to you. Please like, share, subscribe to the videos, to the channel, and I'm on to the next one. Peace. Undisputed here. We have all the belts. Ain't none of these YouTube channels bringing it like we bringing it. One.